Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk to you a little about emergency funds. A lot has been talked about emergency funds, especially since the onset of Corona. Everybody has now said you need to have 1 year's expenses and 1.5 years expenses. I don't know what we will do about it, but anyway, the topic today is what happens if your emergency fund is not sufficient to meet your requirements. That brings us to our first question as to what is an emergency, right? Now a sale is going on in Flipkart and Amazon, and that is not an emergency. An emergency is not something which is an expense which can be postponed and which should have been planned. Your daughter's 12th standard was known to you the day she was born. You knew she would get into engineering or medicine. You knew it could cost you maybe 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, whatever it is. I mean, education pricing in India is very difficult to guess, depending on which college, where you study, etc. That's not an emergency. That is something which you should have planned for. Your mother falling ill and being admitted in hospital is not an emergency. That should have been planned for. You should have had adequate medical insurance. That's not an emergency. An emergency is something which was completely unplanned for and totally unplanned. For example, you had a bad accident and the insurance company is willing to pay only 30% of the claim or 40% of the claim, and you need a car immediately. So you will go and buy a car. So so maybe you can get a car loan, maybe you can buy a second-hand car, maybe you have a second car which you can use, whatever. That is an emergency. Medical treatment which is absolutely necessary, which is only partially covered by medical insurance. You got a bad medical insurance, it was not covering some of the basic things. Somebody had a heart attack, or your younger sibling had a heart attack and that guy had not got enough insurance cover, so you gave him money. That is an emergency. So emergency has to be really defined as a very, very tight emergency, not something which you need to treat yourself. Not buying a new tire for your car or not getting a new kitchen set. That's not really an emergency. That is something which can be postponed. Buying a second home. These are not emergencies, right? Buying up a Mahindra Holiday Resort vacation, I mean, that's available on installment, but those are not emergencies. Going on a vacation, not an emergency. So please define your emergency very, very, very strictly so that you know when you can touch that money. How much money should you have in an emergency? Well, please understand, for an emergency, when you keep money, you keep it in something like an ultra short bond fund or a liquid fund or a bank deposit. It's very inefficient in terms of investments. It does not earn you well. So therefore, the lesser the amount that you keep here, the better off you are, because your investments will grow. So if you have investments like mutual funds, etc., these are actually withdrawable in 2 days or 3 days. So if you have money in liquid funds, or if you have money anyway in ultra short bond fund to do an STP, suppose you got 25 lakhs and from which you are doing an STP of maybe only 1 lakh per month, which means next 2.5 years or next 25 months, you have money lying in an ultra short bond fund, which is a growth option. It may be 27, 20. So you have a lot of money lying there, so you don't need to have too much of an emergency fund. So based on all this, you have to decide how much of an emergency fund you need. Secondly, if you are in a good employment, then your employer can also give you some emergency fund. If you are in a government job, you get enough resources from the government for in case of an emergency. Your credit card can serve as an emergency fund, because if you have a credit card limit of anything between 5 lakhs to 15 lakhs, that is going to step in as in. So take all this into account while deciding how much of emergency fund you should have. If you had an emergency fund and it was short, you just didn't have enough emergency fund to meet, then what do? What are the next steps that you can go and take? I'm assuming you have other investments. So the first investment to tap is your insurance. You get a loan against your insurance policy, or if it's a policy which you paid for, say, 25 years, you paid for 20 years out of 25 years, you may even be able to borrow a big amount from their insurance policy. Even from your ULIP, you may be able to borrow or partially redeem. Partially redeeming a ULIP makes more sense because your life cover anyway continues. After that, you come and break some of your fixed deposits. In case you have fixed deposits, that can be a source. Obviously you have no money in your savings bank account, therefore you are turning to your emergency fund. After that, come to your mutual funds, and even in your mutual funds, your hierarchy should be, you touch your debt funds, and if your debt funds are not adequate, then you go to your equity funds or even your hybrid funds, right? Some of your pension plans you may not be able to touch, or there may be a very big penalty for withdrawal. So be very careful before you break your pension fund, or at least remove from it partially. So now we have defined what is an emergency, and we've defined from the hierarchy in which you will withdraw. What happens if you don't have that kind of money and you still have an emergency? Well, use your credit card, and when you're making the payment for your credit card, make sure that you're making only the minimum payment, right? Because your like I say, ration pani ka paisa zyada zaruri hai. You need to have money for your food, for your school fees, for your term insurance and medical insurance. Don't ever compromise on term insurance and medical insurance. These have to be paid, so your credit card can wait. So if you got to pay 1 lakh on your credit card, it is perfectly all right to pay, say, 7,000-8,000 rupees. Minimum must be 5,000. So if you can pay even 7,000-8,000, that's fine. You got another 93,000 to roll over, right? Maybe you have other cards, you have all those things, so exhaust all that. So pay the minimum, but make sure you pay your term insurance and medical insurance. In case you have some personal loans which you are repaying, try talking to the lender and renegotiating a 2-month vacation or a 3-month vacation. I mean, I'm talking of an emergency, like you've lost your job, you're unable to find another job. This is a time when it may even be difficult to enhance your credit card limits. So if you have personal loans, call, negotiate, take a higher amount, right? If you have a lot of debt and you're repaying the debt by some snowball method or something like that, put a stop to it and let your debt continue. Don't repay your debt in a hurry. Of course, debt repayment is great, but not when you are in an emergency, right? So when you're driving on the first gear, you cannot overtake. To overtake, you need to be on the 4th gear. So when you're on your first gear, play it low, be on the leftmost lane, be on a slow lane, let the people going ahead go. Don't be in a hurry to repay the loans because you've got this emergency till you find another job. Well, the minute you find another job, go and repay, but till then make sure that your cash is not being used up. Try finding some side hustle, like the Americans say, some job on the side. Don't think that you will get another job, right? Don't wait for another job. In the meanwhile, if you get an assignment or consulting, whatever, just do it. If you can teach, if you can do training, if you can sell some other product, if you're a salesperson, just try shifting to some other product. If you're in, say, telecom, and telecom is going through a bad phase, try getting into some other place, maybe hotels, resorts, something like that, which is slightly different from what you've been doing, but you're a sales guy, so sales guys will be able to sell anything, right? Start rebuilding your emergency fund. That is, of course, that is also necessary for you to do. Because this is a time when you're using your emergency fund, but you also need emergency fund for some other emergency. The emergencies, unfortunately, have a very bad habit of coming together. Like, you have lost your job, that's not a time for your wife to be changing her jobs. If whatever job she has got, let her stick to it. Don't try anything fancy with her existing job. So because that is the job which is going to be, that is your source of emergency fund. If that is the source from where you're paying your EMI for the house, go and negotiate. EMI for the car, go and negotiate. Try selling off things which you're not really using. It may not be too great a value, but just get rid of the things which are lying around in your house which you're not using. I mean, there is eBay, Craigslist, whatever. Just get into some of these places and get rid of that, right? Get rid of some of those things. Maybe a camera, maybe a lens, maybe a second car which you're not using. Just get rid of it. Use all that money. After you do that, go into your other assets like your ULIPs and mutual funds, etc. This is the way you have to handle an emergency. But first of all, like I said, I'm repeating myself, define emergency very, very strictly. Everything is not an emergency. You want a treat, it's not an emergency. You want a vacation, it's not an emergency. Taking money from your emergency fund to go on a vacation is amazingly stupid and wrong. Don't do it, because exactly at the time when you've exhausted your emergency, that is the time, emergency fund, that is the time an emergency can strike you. It's like trying to stay for 20 days without medical insurance. Why would you take such a risk, right? But that happens between jobs, so be careful about doing such things. Thank you.